Join me as I dive into the spookiest Thanksgiving tales and see if I can handle sharing a story that's just too creepy for the holiday. So, as we all know, Thanksgiving is a time for family, friends, and food. But what if I told you that not all Thanksgiving stories are about warm, fuzzy feelings and happy memories? Today, I want to share with you a tale that will make you question whether it's suitable for the holiday season. As you settle in, I want to warn you that this story might be too intense, even for the most seasoned horror fans. But if you're feeling brave, then let's dive right in and explore the darker side of Thanksgiving. So, is this story too creepy to tell? Only you can decide. In the small town of Ravenswood, nestled deep in the heart of rural America, a tradition had been passed down for generations. Every year, on Thanksgiving Eve, the townspeople would gather at the old Miller farm to share stories and enjoy a feast together. The farm was owned by the enigmatic Meister Miller, a kind-hearted but reclusive man who had lost his family in a tragic accident many years ago. Despite his grief, he continued to open his doors to the community, ensuring that no one in Ravenswood spent the holiday alone. As the years went by, the townsfolk grew to appreciate Mr. Miller's generosity, but they couldn't help but feel uneasy about the eerie atmosphere that surrounded the farm. Whispers of strange noises, ghostly apparitions, and unexplained occurrences had become a staple of local legend. People would often talk about the abandoned wing of the farmhouse, where Mr. Miller's family had perished in the fire. Some claimed to have seen shadowy figures lurking in the windows, while others spoke of hearing children's laughter and whispers in the dead of night. Despite these ominous tales, the townsfolk continued to visit the farm, drawn in by Mr. Miller's warmth and the promise of a hearty meal. But as the night wore on, the atmosphere would shift, and the sense of unease would grow. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the shadows seemed to come alive, twisting and writhing like living things. The wind would pick up, carrying the faint whispers of forgotten voices, and the trees would creak and groan, as if they too were trying to warn the townsfolk of impending doom. It was on one such Thanksgiving Eve that a group of friends, all in their early 20s, decided to explore the abandoned wing of the farmhouse. They had heard the stories, but they didn't believe them, convinced that the strange occurrences were just small-town superstition. As they made their way through the dusty, cobweb-covered hallways, they stumbled upon a door that seemed out of place. It was hidden behind a tattered curtain, and it looked like it hadn't been opened in years. The group exchanged nervous glances, but their curiosity got the better of them. They pushed the door open, and what they found would haunt them for the rest of their lives. Inside the room, they found a series of old photographs depicting a family that had lived on the farm many years ago. But it was the final picture that made their blood run cold. It showed the same family, but with one major difference. They were all dead, their eyes black as coal and their skin gray and decaying. Suddenly the lights flickered and died, plunging the room into darkness. The group heard the sound of footsteps, heavy and deliberate, coming from the floor below. It was then that they realized they were not alone in the house. As they frantically searched for a way out, the door slammed shut behind them, trapping them in the room. The whispers grew louder, more urgent, and the shadows seemed to coalesce into solid, menacing forms. It was then that the group stumbled upon an ancient artifact hidden away in the room. It was an old leather-bound book, adorned with strange symbols and markings. As they opened it, they discovered that it was a diary, written by the family that had lived on the farm all those years ago. The diary told the story of a family torn apart by tragedy and loss. It spoke of a mother's grief, a father's desperation, and a darkness that had consumed them all. As the group read on, they realized that they had stumbled into something much bigger, much more sinister than they had ever imagined. The diary ended abruptly, but the group knew that they had to get out of there, fast. They managed to break down the door and flee the room, but as they stumbled back into the night air, they realized that they were not alone. Mr. Miller was standing behind them, his eyes black as coal, his skin gray and decaying. He was not alone. The entire town was behind him, their eyes vacant, their skin pale and cold. The group tried to run, but it was too late. They were surrounded, trapped, and at the mercy of an ancient evil that had been awakened by their meddling. As the night wore on, the group disappeared, one by one, never to be seen again. The townsfolk returned to their homes, their eyes once again bright and warm. But the tradition was broken, the cycle was disrupted, and the darkness was left to simmer, waiting for its next victim. The story of the Miller farm spread like wildfire, a cautionary tale about the dangers of meddling with forces beyond our understanding. But as the years went by, the legend grew, and people began to whisper about the true nature of Mr. Miller and his family. Some said they were cursed, others claimed they were demons in disguise. But one thing was certain: the Miller farm was a place of darkness, a portal to a realm where the living were not welcome. So, is this story too creepy to tell on Thanksgiving? Maybe, but it's a reminder that even in the most unexpected places, horror can lurk, waiting to pounce. What do you think, guys? Have you ever heard a Thanksgiving story that sent shivers down your spine? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more creepy tales, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and happy Thanksgiving. And if you like this video, go check out my other Thanksgiving video about family's unforgettable Thanksgiving.